Every economic collapse begins the same way. Not with fear. Not with panic. But with confidence. Right before the storm hits, there is calm. Right before systems break, there is certainty that everything is fine. Then suddenly, stability becomes an illusion. Confidence transforms into confusion. And belief turns into shock. This is how it happened in 1929. This is how it happened in 2008. And many experts believe we may be seeing the same pattern building again. This video is not about fear. This video is about awareness. Because every storm has warning signs. Let's study the past to understand what may already be happening now. History leaves clues. History doesn't repeat itself. But it leaves footprints. To understand the future, we have to examine the patterns of every major economic collapse. The year was 1929, the Great Depression. People were celebrating prosperity. The stock market was at record highs. Loans were easy. Credit was flowing. Everyone thought the good times would last forever. Then, everything changed. The bubble burst. People lost savings. Markets vanished overnight. Confidence evaporated. Unemployment skyrocketed. Breadlines grew. Jobs disappeared. The crash didn't hurt everyone equally, it crushed those who weren't prepared. 2008, the housing market collapsed. Banks said the economy was strong. They said lending was safe. They said housing prices would rise forever. They were wrong. Millions lost their homes. Banks collapsed. Governments had to step in because the entire financial system was at risk. But both 1929 and 2008 have four things in common. Confidence before collapse, debt at record highs, easy lending stops suddenly, people ignored warnings, and today, analysts are seeing the same early warning signs again. Experts are pointing to 5 major pressure points building right now. If they align, 2026 may become one of the most challenging financial years in decades. Let's break them down clearly, one by one. 1. Yield curve inversion, a historic red flag. This indicator has correctly predicted nearly every recession since 1950. When short-term debt yields more than long-term debt, it signals a coming slowdown. Right now, it's inverted. And it has been for months. Economists call it the silent alarm because it often signals trouble before anyone feels it. 2. Record credit card debt. Consumers are squeezed. Debt levels today are higher than before 2008. People are swiping cards not for luxuries but for groceries, gas, and rent. When households rely on credit just to survive, the system is already under stress. 3. Banks are silently tightening lending. Banks are approving fewer loans. They're increasing requirements. They're becoming cautious. Why? They're seeing risk. But they're not publicly discussing it yet. Historically, when banks grow silent, the economy grows unstable. 4. AI job loss, a rapid employment shift. Economists are predicting millions of jobs may disappear, not in decades, but in years. Entire industries could be restructured: customer service, content creation, transportation, manufacturing, finance, and AMP, trading. This isn't science fiction. It's already happening. 5. Global debt crisis, nations under pressure. Several nations are printing money just to survive. Others are borrowing at record levels. Some economists warn this could trigger a chain reaction across global markets. Debt always comes with consequences. And consequences don't wait forever. Economies don't collapse all at once. They break at the weakest points first. So, what breaks first? Crashes don't start evenly. They begin in pressure zones, areas already under strain. Here are the 3 most vulnerable sectors right now. 1. Housing market, affordability collapse. When homes become unaffordable, history shows that values eventually correct. Affordability always has a breaking point. And in many places today, that point may have already been reached. 2. Commercial real estate, empty offices, remote work changed everything. Companies downsized physical spaces. Cities built for commuters now have fewer people commuting. Some analysts warn that commercial real estate debt could be the next domino to fall. 3. Sovereign debt, nations in danger. When governments borrow too much, they face hard choices. Raise taxes? Cut programs? Print more money? Each of these decisions carries consequences. And some countries are reaching their limits. And when the weakest link breaks, the shock travels fast. That's why preparedness is not fear. It's strategy. People respond to uncertainty in two ways: panic and freeze, prepare and adapt. The second group rarely loses. Here are key strategies economists and investors have used during past crises. Maintain liquidity. Cash isn't about spending. It's about flexibility. Study undervalued markets. Warren Buffett's advice: be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Diversify income. One income source is risk. Multiple income sources are resilience. Observe history, don't ignore it. History doesn't repeat. But it leaves patterns. And those patterns guide those who watch them closely. So, what happens if things get worse? Is it all doom? Or could it also bring opportunity? Some of the greatest fortunes in history were built during economic downturns. During uncertainty, people seek guidance. They seek leadership. They seek solutions. This is where new industries emerge: AI innovation, remote first businesses, sustainable energy, independent media, digital education, smart finance strategies. While some markets fall, others are quietly rising. The pattern of history: 1929 innovations in manufacturing, 2000 birth of digital economy, 2008 rise of startups and AMP, fintech. 2026? AI. The question isn't will there be a crisis? The question is will we be ready when it happens? This video was not made to create panic, but to spark awareness. Information is not fear. Preparation is not panic. Awareness is not anxiety. It is clarity. And clarity is power.